All righty. Okay, we are here. See, all right, Facebook. All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night. It is February 27th, and it is day 4 of America Saves Week that started February 24th on Monday and runs through February 29th on Saturday. And I have been here each night to talk about the different topics for America Saves Week 2020. That's what we have here. And so tonight, the fourth night is about a subject that's very near and dear to my heart that I love talking about. Is saving to retire. Saving to retire. Yes, yes. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to come in, and I'm going to get started here. I'm going to recap a little bit and give you some background on America Saves Week, and we're going to go from there. All right. So, hi, Levon. Thank you so much for joining me. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rita Oliver. I'm the CEO and founder of Strategies, Options, and Solutions. They call me the Money Strategist. I help individuals and entrepreneurs to financially prepare, to plan, and to prosper. And so I am here all this week to promote, and I'm a partner with the nonprofit organization America Saves, and this is America Saves Week. And each night we've had a different topic to talk about with savings. America Save is a nonprofit organization that was created, and they partner with other nonprofits, entrepreneurs like myself, corporations, and others to promote in local communities about saving. About the time that it's time to do this week is time to do a financial gut check, a financial check-in on your money, on your behavior. That's right, a financial gut check and a financial checkup on your money and your behavior. Americans have one of the lowest savings rates of any other countries, and we need to save our money. We need to do better. So America Saves Week has created this week so that we can promote this in the local communities and help people to save better. And that's what I've been doing here since Monday. So we've had topics each night from saving automatically. Last night was saving for the unexpected. And tonight, night number 4, it's saving to retire, a subject near and dear to my heart, retirement. So let's dive right in. Saving to retire. You know, retirement is a major life planning event. Bottom line, it's a major life planning event. Retirement will not haphazardly happen for you. It's not going to miraculously just happen for you. You have to do something about it. There is no law on the books that requires your employer to give you a retirement plan. That is why it's called a benefit. That's why it's called a benefit. So retirement, ladies and gentlemen, is up to you. You know, gone are the days where we had defined pension benefit plans. Mainly what you see today are defined contribution plans, your 401k. But regardless, even with a pension plan, you still had to contribute money to it. I am a federal government employee and I contribute to a pension. I've been doing it now for over 30 years. So retirement is up to you. So in this major life event, it is about knowing your numbers. It is about knowing your numbers. And what I mean about knowing your numbers is that you got to know what your living expenses are. You got to be aware of your income. And you've got to make a decision that when you retire, will your lifestyle stay the same, or will your lifestyle be more, or will it be less? That's all about numbers. Let me tell you something here, a nugget right here, and don't ever forget this. And in my work as a financial coach, here's what I have found. There are only 2 factors in the decision to decide if, when, and can you afford to retire. That is money and debt. You need more of number 1 and 0 of the other. Money and debt determine if and when you can afford to retire. Therefore, it's critical that you save to retire. As I said, it's not going to magically appear. No money is going to magically appear. You have to do something about it. So today, for people that are working, wage earners like myself, and even for entrepreneurs, There are many vehicles out here that allow you to save for retirement. If you're working, the most common thing today is the 401k that employers offer to you. That's a defined contribution plan. There's also the 457B and the 403B. Some of those last two are for certain types of employment, some nonprofits, and you see a lot with teachers. So 401k, let's talk about it. If you have that at work, here's the major question that you need to answer for yourself. 2, are you contributing, and are you contributing the max to your 401k? Are you contributing to your 401k, and are you contributing the maximum that's allowed by the IRS each year? Let's talk about that. The 401k contribution limit, annual contribution limit for 2020 this year is $19,500 a year. Break it down every 2 weeks, 26 pay periods, that's $750 each pay period for your 401k. So when you do contribute to your 401k, the majority of employers out here match that. They match it either between 3 to 5%. And it's also based on what you're contributing as well. So you can see you need to save to retire, because if you're not in your 401k, number one, you're not contributing to your retirement to have money to live. And number two, you are missing out on free money that your employer is matching. Think about it. You're putting in $19,500 and you're going to get a 5 to 6% match. You're talking about $26,000, $27,000 a year on the principal being invested for you for the long term. Haven't even talked about the earnings. 401k, $19,500 a month. I'm here to tell you, if you've been watching me for a while, you need to contribute the max to your 401k. Yeah, you need to do the $19,500. That's $750 a pay period. That is what I do. $750 a pay period. If you are not at the max, you need to get to the max. And here are 2 ways to get to the max. If you are expecting a cost of living increase or expecting a salary increase or a promotion, that money, that's the difference between what you're making now and what you're going to get in the future with the promotion or the salary increase. You need to channel it into your 401k. You need to channel it into your 401k until you get to the max. That's just the bottom line. You got to take advantage of investing your money to have money down the road. And individual retirement accounts, that's the next vehicle in terms of saving to retire. Hi, Beverly, how are you? Hey, Betty, how are you? Hey, Javon. The individual retirement account, or IRA, as you've heard it, those are the individual things that you can create for yourself outside of your employer to contribute to have for retirement. You have 2 types. You have a traditional IRA and you have the Roth IRA. The difference between, there's a income limit which determines which one you can contribute to. The IRS has established limits for those with Roth IRA, because when you contribute to the Roth IRA, that's after-tax income, and when you pull the money out, the money is not taxed. Traditional IRA, the money grows tax deferred, and when you do take it out, it is taxed. There are income limits established by the IRS to say whether or not you can contribute to either one. The IRA, you can contribute $6,000 a year. If you're over 50, you can contribute $7,000 a year. I am over 50. That equates to $292 per pay period. So add $292 and $750. So you're looking at about $1,000 a pay period for me to contribute to my retirement. So that's over $2,000 a month, worth every single penny. Worth every single penny. Because you're talking about money being invested and money to grow over the long term. You know, there's a little thing called inflation that we have no control over. And so as our dollars each year, inflation increases. So you get to purchase less with that. So therefore, you need to invest your money in an IRA in assets that are going to appreciate, so it will generate income down the road to beat inflation. Now, you're probably saying, all right, Rita, you've told me the dollar amounts. What do I invest in for the IRA for me to save to retire? Depending on your employer, in the private sector, it may be their company stock, their own stock. And then they also may allow you to invest in other securities based on the agreements they have with some brokerage houses like Fidelity, like Vanguard, T. Rowe Price, Charles Schwab. So you need to invest in, I had a question the other night and I talked about it. You need to invest in what you know. And here's what you know. What you know is what is in your household. You buy products every week or so. You buy Clorox, you buy Tide, you buy Listerine, you buy Pine Sol, you order stuff from Amazon. So if you're already purchasing goods and services from those companies, why not purchase what you're already buying? So you need to look at at what's offered in your 401k. If you see things like mutual funds, which will be a collection of all those companies I just talked about, that's a good thing for you to put your money in, because you have diversification and you have lessened the risk of loss. Now, in investing in your retirement fund, you're going to have some losses. Stock market today, Dow Jones dropped almost 1,200 points. S&P 500 has dropped 10% in the last 6 days. But listen to the operative word I said, long term. That's just about a week of activity here. That has nothing to do with the entire 365 days or the entire 15, 10, 20 years that you're growing your money. It is about the long term. That's why you need to be consistent in saving to retire. You need to take that $19,500 as I broke it down for you. If you can't do the max, but I want you to get to the max, and put in there what you can afford and continue to grow it until you're at the max. And all you have to do is tweak it when the amount increases every year on January 1. And then it is for the long term retirement. It is not about money that you put in here and that you're going to pull this money out in 6 months. No, it's not. It's about the long term. Things that are going to be sustainable take a long time to grow. The slow grind will sustain you. Anything that's fast is not going to be good for you. That's why being consistent, as we've talked all week about saving automatically, saving for the unexpected. My theme throughout this whole week, these 4 days so far, has been about consistently and doing it automatic. That's the same thing here with your 401k. Because the first night, what I said was that was one of the important vehicles that you needed to contribute to. And I'm on here to tell you, all of you watching, is that you need to be in a retirement vehicle like a 401k. If you're watching me on here and you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business, then you have many options depending on the size of your business. If you have, 20 employees or it's just you have the opportunity to contribute up to 25% of your net earnings tax-free. This year, that's $57,000. You can't beat that. Now, you may not be able to do the whole $57,000, but whatever you contribute in that vehicle, and you being an entrepreneur can do something like a simple IRA. You can do that for your business. Whatever you contribute in there will be tax-free, but you've got up to $57,000 to do it. That's saving to retire. That's saving to retire. The key thing here is that you have to do it. You have to do it. As I said, the law says that your employer is not required to give you a retirement plan. That is why it's a benefit. So whatever is being created or your employer has created, or whatever you can create for yourself as an entrepreneur for the long term, when you're talking long term and retirement income, you need to take advantage of it, and you need to do it and execute it. If you have to start little by little and it grows. That's what I did many years ago. I couldn't afford to do the max, but I did what I could and sacrificed, and I built to the max. So that now whenever the max increases, all I do is do the difference between what I was contributing and what the new max is biweekly. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about your life. It is. It's about your life and the life that you want to live. Today is what we have, the present. Tomorrow is not promised to us, but we can plan for it. And that's what saving to retire is about. It is about planning for it. Let me give you a little nugget here. You can finance a home, a car, and your child's retirement, and your child's education. You can't finance your retirement. You can't. You can't. You finance all them things, but you can't finance retirement. You're going to have to contribute money to it, because retirement is about the assets that you built, and that's what you're going to have to live off of. So if you have no assets, there is no good retirement. Social Security is not a retirement plan. Social Security will be there if you have contributed to it and you have enough quarters to receive money from it. but it's not an automatic for you. For Social Security to kick in, you need to have contributed to 40, paid in 40 quarters or 10 years. If you want partial benefits, you need to have paid in 6 years. So it is only a supplemental plan. It's the Old Age Survivors Disability Insurance Act. The operative word, survivor. You're not going to be able to live on it. Just try to survive on it. Therefore, while you're working and you're able and you have the income, you need to contribute to your retirement plan. You need to contribute to the 401k. You need to contribute to an IRA. And if you need to do something else, a brokerage account or another long-term savings account, you need to contribute to that, because you've got to look and know your numbers. What does it take for you to live today, month to month? So when you retire, you no longer will have 2 biweekly paychecks coming in. You'll have maybe 1 paycheck or whatever you withdraw out of your 401k. So you've got to know how much to withdraw. And if you have a lot of expenses, you're going to be taking out a whole lot of money. And as you do that, your money is going to run out faster than you anticipated. Therefore, it is critical to know how much you need and to do something about it today. Do something about it today. Your 401k, your retirement, saving to retire. This is a great topic that they did this week for Savings Week. Hey, Rolanda, how are you? How you doing, Sarah? So yes, you need to save for retirement. It's a major life planning event. It's just not going to haphazardly happen. And I'm very passionate about it. Because see, I'm a single woman, have no backup. So got to put the money in there to retire. And if you're married, you and your spouse need to get on the same page about retirement. You both should be contributing the max to your 401k at your employer. Think about that. Both of you saving $26,000, $27,000 with the matching and what you could have down the road. What you could have down the road. And then if you have no debt and you guys are living, as I said last night, on one salary and putting money away in savings and investing money, you truly, truly, truly are a power couple. Because when you have enough money to do what you want to do, as I said, you can respond instead of react, and you have what I call the power of choice. And that's a powerful thing, because you have financial freedom, you have financial independence, and above all, you have financial power. But unless you take the step and do something about it, you will not have anything. I'm not being mean. I'm not being crass. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Retirement, it's about the assets that you built. That's what you got to live off of. As I said, you don't have many pension benefit plans today. You have defined contribution plans, 401k. Therefore, you have got to put as much in there that you're allowed to do so that it will grow for you in the future. That's what this is about. So, retirement, America Savings Week 2020, day 4, saving to retire. I was excited to see this on the agenda for this evening because it's a major, major topic, because most Americans are not contributing to retirement. The average account out here with retirement is about $250,000. I'm here to tell you that's not going to last you very long. It's not. It's not. Particularly, as I said at the beginning, it's only 2 factors that decide if and when you can afford to retire. That's money and debt. So you better have money and 0 debt. It's not good to take a whole lot of debt into retirement. Not at all. Not at all. So saving to retire, America Saves Week. Let's get into the 401k. Let's do the IRA. You need to go, if you're getting a pay raise, when you get it, you need to be in HR that same day, channeling that money over into the 401k so that you can maximize your retirement savings and not have a worry in the world anymore about whether you're going to be able to live, how long can you live on this money, and am I going to be able to meet my monthly obligations? That's not the story you want to go, the story you want to have in your mind when you get ready to go out of here and retire and live the way you want to live. And you can live the way you want to live now, but at the juncture you make a decision, I'm not going to work full time anymore. I'm just saying you need to have the money you need to have to do that. Because when you have money, you got power, you got access, you got the power of choice, and you dictate your destiny, and other people don't for you. And that's something I love having. And so retirement 2020 America Saves Week, saving to retire. So if you have any questions about retirement, what you should do, how you should do it, I will be happy to answer those. The easiest thing is that you need to start contributing. Probably the most complicated thing for people out here is what to invest in your 401k. So it's understanding what's available to you from your employer and what and how much risk that you can take so that we know that your money grows. The other thing is as well is that when you do retire, you have to know how to take the money out and also when you can take it out. So with the 401k, with the IRA, you cannot touch that money until you're age 59 and a half to be able to touch it without penalty. You can touch it today and go in there and do a withdrawal, but you're going to be hit with a 20% tax rate and a 10% tax penalty. So basically 30% to take that money out if you were to do a withdrawal today before the required age limit of 59 and a half. So retirement, as I said, it's for growing that money long-term to generate you money down the road. Therefore, if we take care of ourselves today, we can prolong when we do have to take that money. You may not have to get that money at 59 and a half because the more and the longer that money grows, the more money you'll have so that when you set up the amount that you want to take out every month, you can have money for the rest of your life. And what you want is that infinity. So first is that we have to contribute to it. Then we need to contribute the max. Then we need to do the IRA outside of the 401k. And you probably also need a savings as well. Because when you get ready to leave work and retire, there are things called processing time. You're not going to leave on Friday and start getting a retirement check on Monday. So it could be 3 to 6 months before you see a check, before you can start to withdraw anything, because your agency or your corporation has to process you out of the door. All of that stuff has to happen. And here's another nugget before I close out. You need to go to your HR offices this week or next week and find out about your retirement plan. Even though you have the 401k and you may be contributing, what you also need to find out is this: your benefits. You're paying health insurance and life insurance now. Will those things go with you when you leave? And if they do go with you, how much will they cost? And will you have the same coverages in retirement as you do when you're working? Think about that. Think about that. You need to go into your offices and find this out. If you're going to have the same benefits, what will my benefits cost me in retirement? Because that's going to be taken out of the money that you're getting out of your 401k. So if you are pulling out $3,500 a month out of your 401k, first and foremost, you got taxes, federal taxes. If you live in a state that charges state income taxes, you got taxes coming out for that. Then you're going to pay for the health insurance and the life insurance. So you may see $3,500 gross. You need to think about the net, because the net is what's going to hit the bank and what you're going to live on. That's why I say you need to have more money in zero debt. So the less that's coming out of your household to pay expenses like mortgage, auto, insurance, gas, lights, and water, the better it is for you. Less expenses, more money for you. So let me see what I got here. Okay, hey Andrea. Thanks. Okay, yes, 3 to 6 months liquid savings. Yes, right, to tie you over until your retirement funds come. So that's exactly right. So ladies and gentlemen, it's about having money, ready cash resources available to you while you're working, for saving for the unexpected. And then also too, planning for the long term. When you come out of work for retirement, you need to have some money set aside while you're waiting for things to happen. Or for instance, if you come out before 59 and a half, you come out, say at age 56, that's 3.5 years before you can touch your money. You got to have some other money to live on. Or you have to make the decision that you'll come out at 60 or 62 or whatever. That's going to be fine because you'll be eligible to take your money at that time. And then what you may want to do or be able to do is supplement Social Security with that, because you're able to take Social Security at age 62, age 66 or 67, and age 70. So as I said, this is a major life planning event. There are many parts to it. Retirement is not a simple conversation. It is not a fast conversation, but it's a conversation that you got to have with yourself. And if you're married, you got to have it with your spouse. You got to come to the real on this with retirement, because we are all getting older. and you're going to look up and you're tired and you're ready to go. And when you look at that balance in your 401k, it's not going to be able to sustain you. And you got to make a decision that you're going to leave and go out there and struggle, or you're going to have to work a lot longer. Which one do you want to do? Which one do you want to do? I know for me, I want to leave when I get ready. And that's what I plan to do, is leave when I get ready. But if you make the step today and save to retire and do the max, do the IRA and do the max, it won't be an issue for you. And you get rid of the debt, not going to be an issue for you at all. You can do everything that you want to do. And I can guarantee you that. As I said, you can finance a home, you can finance a car, you can finance your child's education. You can't finance your retirement. Can't finance it at all. You got to have money available. You got to have it available at all times. And another thing, even when you retire, you still got to save for a rainy day and for an emergency, because life just does not stop. It doesn't stop. So it's about getting smart about what you need to do, asking questions about what you don't know, and not being afraid to say, I don't know, and being open to listening to something that you may not have heard before, but making a decision about what you should do that's best for you. Don't be afraid to do something that's new. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Just don't be afraid at all, because people that stay afraid are not going to move anywhere. Not going to move anywhere. So, hey, Yvonne. Hey, Regina. So, Betty, some great nuggets. Your passionate concern is other remarkable and unselfish. Thank you. Now that she jumped into double grace of 55, or 55, that's a double nickel. You don't make no change for nobody. Any special tips? The special tips I would say, Betty, for you, because I know that you are a real estate broker, is you having that simple IRA for you as the broker. Is that as you get those commissions, that you channel a portion of those commissions into that simple IRA, because you are independent and you're entrepreneur and work for yourself. As that, you have that tax write-off that will come for you, that will allow you to that as a business owner to write that off. And because you can go to $57,000, that's a great thing for you. And because you're moving homes, selling homes, commissions, what have you, you've got lump sums that you can put in there. You may not do the 57 G's, but at least I believe anything is better than zero. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is about taking care of our lives. It is about making sure that we have the life that we want to have. And we can only do that if we take action. We can only do it if we have clarity. We can do it when we got a plan, and we can do it if we execute. And what I'm talking about tonight here on Saving to Retire is that you got to execute. You got to execute with this money. You got to execute with a decision that I'm going to be in the 401k. I'm going to do the max. I got to do an IRA. I'm going to do the max, and I'm going to save money where I can, and I'm going to cut back on my expenses so that I have money readily available, and that when I retire, I can afford to live the life that I want to live. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I call the real American dream, is the power of living a rich life of choices and options. That's it. That's it. So 2020 America Saves Week, Saving to Retire. This is night number 4. I was excited about this topic, can't you tell? Because y'all heard me out here talking about retirement. So I was glad to see this on the agenda, because I knew I had a lot to say about it. Because see, ladies and gentlemen, I retire in 21 months, and I'm so excited. And I have not one fear in the world about it. Stock market may have dropped 1,200 points a day. I don't care anything about it. The only money I lost was on paper, and that was earnings. But that's why you have to plan for it, because I've been contributing to that 401k since 1987. So 30-something years. So I'm not worried about a little bump in the road today. But see, if you started contributing maybe 5 years ago, or maybe 2 years, or just this year, you worried about this bump in the road, because if you're in the 50s, you don't have a lot of time. But if you're watching me and you're in your 30s, the bump in the road is just a little old mosquito bite for you, because you got a long time to grow some money. So save to retire. Let's make a decision out here. Let's execute. Let's take action, and let's take responsibility and accountability for the rest of our life, because there's nobody else that's going to do it for you. They're not. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And I'm here to tell you, the government is not coming to rescue you. They're not. If they can shut us down for 35 days and not pay you, what do you think they're going to do for you in retirement? Let's be honest about this. Let's be honest. So take the action. What you don't know, drop me a question, message me, and we can get the answer for you. What's best for you to take care of you and your family for the rest of your life. Saving to retire. It's about the rest of your life, because the real reality show going down 24/7 is you, your money, and your life. That's it. That's it. So I'm Rita Oliver. I'm the CEO and founder of Strategies, Options, and Solutions, the money strategist, helping you to financially prepare, to plan, and to prosper. So if you save for retirement, you're preparing. And then if you do the maximum, that's a plan. And if you continue to do that and do it over the long term, you're definitely going to prosper. Absolutely. So I will see you back here tomorrow night for night number 5. It's about saving to reduce debt, which I talked about tonight, that if you reduce the debt, don't have any debt, retirement is going to be fine for you. So I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, to talk about that. Thank you so much for joining me. Please share this out, and thank you all. Okay, wait a minute. Got Masara Rolanda. Rolanda says, I have rental income. Is that a good source of retirement income in addition to other things? So I'm going to say this to you, Rolanda. And if my friend Betty is still on here, who's a real estate agent, I will tell you with rental income, what you got to look at, Rolanda, is how much of it is really income. And here's what I mean, is that I'm just going to do a scenario here. You have a home that you, or maybe several properties that you have, and say that you, my question would be, is that, do you have mortgages on the property because you still have expenses on it? Then of course you have to pay the property taxes and the homeowner's insurance. And then of course you have whatever repairs that would occur. So when I say rental income, and for you rental income, is that, are you renting it out enough to clear money every month that will be considered income for you? So if the properties, if you had 2, and say the mortgages on them were $2,400 every month, my question is that, are you able to clear $1,000 or more every month based on the rent? So you would have to rent those out for about $3,600. So rental income is not a bad source of income in retirement if you don't have a lot of debt on the property, because it's all about what you're pulling in terms of every month. Because what are the expenses monthly on that property? What does it cost you to run that property? Then what is it that you're actually clearing from that property? So look at the rent, the mortgage, Yolanda, the homeowner's insurance and property taxes. If that's not included in the regular mortgage payment, what are the expenses that it costs you to run those properties every single month? Then what income is coming from that? Because it's income less expenses. It's the revenue less expenses. That's your income. So what are you really making from those properties? What does it cost you to run those properties? Because you got to think about, that's why I asked the question, are you able to charge where you could clear $1,000 a month on both properties? And then some that will be put away, because when you think about it, when you're renting those properties, you've got the money coming in, but you got to put some aside for repairs, for future repairs, because things just happen over time and you got to repair them. And then of course you have renters in there. You got to think about, if they tear stuff up or whatever, having that capital there to readily do that. That's why I asked the question, what does it cost you to run them? Because then if you are clearing $1,000 a property, $2,000 a month, that would be $24,000 a year. Then a portion of that can go for the normal expenses, some to put aside for repairs, and then the rest would be yours. Then of course you also have the tax write-offs for the rental property as a business owner for all the expenses that you're incurred. But you don't want to just depend on the tax write-offs for any money back on them. You want money being generated from the property for you so that you can have the income. I hope I answered you, Sarah. If not, then just message me and then we can talk about it. But that's what I would say, is that what are you getting in monthly rent that's coming in? And then what are the expenses that you have to pay for those properties every month? And what's left? Is that enough for income? Is it enough to put some aside to take care of the properties? And then is it enough over here for you to take some money to say that would be your income? That's what you got to look. What's the true cost? Here it is. What's the true cost of ownership every month? Because the true cost of ownership will tell you if you're making money or not. What's the true cost of ownership? Think about it that way. TCO, true cost of ownership. Any other questions? Any other questions? Thank you all so much for joining me, Yvonne. Okay, my classmate Morris. And then hey, Shonda, Amy, my trainer, and then my good friend Suzette. So saving to retire. I'm really passionate about it, gang. You know, because I have been through this in the last 30 years by myself saving for this. And, you know, you got to make a decision about it, that this is important to you, that it's a priority in your life, because you got to know that you are okay for the rest of your life. And the bottom line is you're going to need money for the rest of your life. That's just it. So, and I don't think anybody on here listening to me that you want to work for the rest of your life, or if you do, you want it to be a choice of what you work and how you work. And so not that you are hitting the grind every day in inside of a building, in a corporation, or wherever that you're being dictated to, but you want it to be what you want it to be, not something that you have to do. That's what I'm saying there, because then you get the power of choice, because you've done the work up front back there in those years behind you, the latter years, and that it's generated the money that's putting you in a good position right now, that your choice of what you do is fine because you got the money. So Betty came on here, Rolanda. She said, real estate is still a great vehicle. Nothing like letting someone else build your wealth and finance your retirement. And so she said, great advice, Rita. So yeah, I mean, yeah, somebody else can pay it off for you. But as I said, what's your true cost of ownership every month that it costs you to do it? And then what's left that you can make money? That's how you got to look at it. That's how you got to look at it. So, hey, Anita, hey, Sarah, and hey, Ida, good to see everybody. And so Ida, she just recently retired here. So, and Anita, another colleague, federal government. So is Ida. So, you know, just great, everybody. You know, you can tell how passionate I am about retirement and about people being okay in it, because we have seen the stories. We've seen the stories of people, and you probably know some people that are, you know, the income, because that's the issue in retirement. Do you have the income or not? Because if you don't have the income, it's just not going to be good for you. It's just not a good life, because when you got to try to make ends meet every month, it's just not a good thing. That's why I always say maximize your income while you're working and contribute to your 401k. Invest and save your money to grow your money so that you can have money down the road, you know. And that way you're able to get into real estate, you know, that if you want to dabble and have a property, but you know that your income from retirement is set regardless of what the property does or not. You know, you're not depending on it. It's just a supplement. And just like Social Security, it's just a supplement to what you already have, because as I said, it's not going to be enough to live on. It's just not. It's not going to be enough to live on. So you want to set it in stone that what you built will take care of you regardless, no matter what. And that's wealth. You can do what you want, no matter what. So I want to thank you again, everybody. So Betty said, Alvin said, okay, thank you, Alvin. And so, okay, you're good. You're welcome, Rolanda. And so, yeah. So let's take care of it, everybody. While you got the time here, let's take care of this. And if you have questions, please let me know. I am here to help you, because I learned this through trial and error. I sure did. Learn it through trial and error, and I have enjoyed learning about it, because then when it clicked for me, I understood it. And so when you understood it, when you understand it, that's how I can come out here now and talk about it and make it simple, because it's not as complicated as we think. It's not. People may make you think it is, but it's not as complicated as we think, particularly when it comes to selecting investments that are going to grow and make your money. Because just like I was talking with my brother, and I'm going to get off here. I was talking to my brother this afternoon. We're talking about the coronavirus. And I told him, I said, well, you know, yeah, the virus is happening. I said, but you know what? There's probably some things too. The market is responding to it, but it's probably some companies out here that are making money from the coronavirus. I said, probably some biotech companies. So I was talking to him and we got to looking. I was on the computer. I said, here it is right here. 2 companies that have signed an agreement. They're going to do a vaccine, are going to do some things, an antibody to combat the coronavirus. And when I looked at one of them today, they had grown up, their stock price had increased 72%. 72%. So the coronavirus, everybody was focused on the negative, saying, oh, the stock market did this. But there are people making money based on the coronavirus, based on it, because they're saying, I got the solution for it. And the market was reacting to it. So don't read all the headlines in the negative. Know what it is for your life and where you're headed. Because if you have that plan for your money, because as I said, the market tanked. But if you've been putting money in there all the time, long term, there ain't nothing to worry about. The only loss you're getting is loss on earnings, not the principal. And that's the key right there. Your principal is not being lost. You just losing on the earnings. But just like the market went down, few weeks, the market will be back up, because nobody's going to let this tear up anything. So, all right, everybody. So saving to retire, America Saves Week, day number 4. So I'll see you back here tomorrow night on saving to reduce debt, which is key to being able to retire. And as I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for the engagement and the comments. And because I love answering questions, I love helping people to get it, because I want you to be all right. Because when you're all right, you can live and do what you need to know. Hey, Anita, so need to learn how to invest. Okay, Anita, because we have the thrift savings plan, the TSP, Anita. So yes, so we need to talk, because I know when you and I met in DC, you are leaving after me. So yes, we need to talk so we get your TSP together so that you can sit back and not worry anymore about that. All right, so thank you everybody so much. Any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them and help you, because you need to know that you'll be safe, secure, and can live comfortably for the rest of your life, because that's what you deserve. That's what you deserve. So I'm Rita Oliver, money strategist from Strategies, Options, and Solutions. Have a blessed evening. Bye-bye. Did it do it? Yeah.